Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 44 of the This Old Knit podcast. I am your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry, Instagram, and Pinterest. And you can maybe find show notes at the This Old Knit Ravelry group. I didn't get them up last week. I usually have to rewatch the podcast, and I did rewatch it, but I didn't have time to write everything down and put it into the thread, but I'm recording again this week, so you gotta pick your battles, right? So, just preemptively, I apologize if the lighting is a little bit weird. It is Sunday, March 27th, and it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so the sun is starting to come down in the sky, so this side of the house gets the afternoon sunlight, and I don't actually have any blinds or curtain on the window that's in my nook, so we just get full sun. And my husband actually, last time I recorded in here about this time of day, he asked me what was going on with the two-face thing, because I had half of my face was really bright sunny and part of it was dark, so I hope that's not happening right now, but if it is, oh well, because it's nice outside and I like sitting here, and so that's just what it's gonna be. So anyway, thank you to all new and returning viewers. As always, you are all what make the podcast awesome and amazing, so thank you for coming back, and thanks to everyone who has chatted with me on Instagram or Ravelry this week. I always love hearing from you and chatting with everybody, so very, very much appreciated. So for this week for you, I have a finished object, some whips, and some stash enhancement. Not actually any yarn to show you, but I did buy something else. Okay. So, the joys of having the windows open, right? It's about 68 degrees here, which is, let's see, 38, 15, about 19 degrees Celsius. So it's very nice. So we have the windows open, and we went to the zoo today and had a really great time. So we're just getting home from that. So, without further ado, my finished object. I finished my Across the Pond shawl. So it just came off the blocking wires. I've not woven in ends because I block first and then I weave in ends. I learned that from Amy in the Knitting in Circles podcast, and it seems to really work well, because if I wove in the ends before and then blocked it, they ended up sometimes pulling out partially, so this way your fabric is the way it's going to be in its final state, and then the ends are not going to move around. So last time for everybody, I knit this out of a No Maker's Doppelganger. Stand up. Yep, that's okay. Out of a No Maker's Doppelganger. This top color is Berry Nomi, and then the lace color is called Just Plum. So it's just a tonal purple. And I used almost every single bit of the purple. I think I had 5 grams or less remaining of it. I was a little bit concerned, but I did make it. The Berry Nomi, I think I maybe had 10 grams left. I still have to weigh it for the Canadian Knitter Winter Camp. I am on Team Polar Bear, so this is probably the last object that I'm going to finish for that thing. But it's a reasonable amount of yards, so I'm very pleased about that. It actually goes by grams, so almost 200 grams worth of yarn. So as you can see, it's very, very, very large, much larger than my wingspan. So there's lots of different ways that to wear it. So you could wear it like this, which is probably how I'm going to wear it, but like that. Or you know, around behind. Could do that with a shawl pin in the front, like that. Or like this. That actually stays really well as well. It still kind of comes down over. So yeah, I really am pleased with it. This is the first time I've got to wear it, so sorry I'm getting a little bit flippy with figuring out what I'm going to do with it, but I'm very excited to wear it this spring. Oh, it feels so nice. And kind of into the summer on chillier days. So I usually keep a shawl at work for when they start turning on the air conditioning. It gets a little bit cold because I sit right underneath of a vent, a very, very loud vent. So this helps to just kind of take off the chill when you're wearing like a summery top. So yeah, I'm very, very pleased with it. The pattern is Across the Pond by Mina Phillip, and you definitely should go and check out this pattern. It is beautifully written. Mina does a fabulous job. She is the host of the Knitting Expat podcast, and she's Mina Phillip on Instagram. So yeah, go and check it out. So now I have the problem of deciding what shawl to cast on next. And I actually couldn't decide what I was going to work on next, so I pulled out a very old whip to work on instead. I'm going to have to put this down like this or something. I may just take it off, but I'm enjoying it for right now. So I pulled out my husband's gloves, aka the Squiddly Doo. Got a lot of needles on it right now. The reason for that is that when you're working the fingers, it suggests putting the stitches on waste yarn and then slowly working each one, but then you have to keep slipping stitches off of waste yarn, which is always a pain anyway. So I just took extra circular needles and put the stitches I wasn't working onto circulars, and then I slipped the ones I am working onto the Addi Sock Rocket circulars to work those. And I always work in the round with 2 circulars, so there are 2, unless if obviously something is small enough that I can use 1 circular and go around like a sweater body. So I've finished the pinky and the ring finger, which look very oddly different from each other in terms of size. I guess they're not that bad. They just look weird to me. Looks really, really odd. I think. No, that seems okay, actually. This is the completed one, so I might have worked maybe 1 more row, but it's hard to say because they're a little bit pointy until you start putting them on your fingers, and then that top part kind of evens out a little bit. So this little point will go away as I work in the ends, and then as my husband wears them, it'll get evened out. But I'm basically knitting it exactly the same as the other one. So I've already finished one, obviously, so I know how many rows to knit for each finger, which was a lot of what took so long for the first one because I had to keep having him try them on. So 3 more fingers and then I'm done. So I'm excited about that, and like I said, ready to be finished with those. So my plan was to hopefully get those out of the way, and then I won't feel any guilt at all about doing my shawls or whatever I want to do for me. So I'll probably try to finish those up tonight. These are the Char glove pattern by Andrea Rangel. It's available on Ravelry, and I'm sorry I don't remember how much it costs, but it is a paid-for pattern. And the yarn is Knitting Notions in the Ironstone colorway. They are in my really, really old no knits pouch. but it's made of ripstop nylon, so you can see I actually poked through a needle right there, but it won't become a larger hole, and you can actually sit there and work it back and forth, and it will go back to almost having no hole. So it's a good little pouch. So that was the main thing I've been working on since I finished my shawl. But I did cast on a new pattern, so it is in my Wool and Vine Yarns bag. And this was a special one that she did with some fabric she bought in Cape Cod. And inside, of course, I had to do a Wool and Vine yarn in my Wool and Vine Yarns bag. I'm going to kind of see if I can get some sun on that guy. This is her fairy hair colorway on the footsie base. And I cast on for a pair of socks, because I did get this for socks. So I don't have a lot to show right now. It's just the ribbing on the top. I'm using 2.5 millimeter needles. And this pattern is called Tiro, and it's by Lena Gerald from Weave It Knitty. And it's a paid for pattern, so I'm going to just hold it up here really quickly. But it is a cabled pattern, so it has a plain cuff and then cables along the foot, and what is it called? Is it a Dutch heel? I think it might be a Dutch heel. So anyway, it's a little bit of a shorter sock. So I actually did a little bit longer of a cuff than it called for in the pattern. So I think it calls for 15 rows, but I'm going to do 20 because I usually do a 20 row cuff on my socks. So I think this will be really pretty. The cables will be kind of nice, and while it has all these different colors, they work really well together. So they're still, they blend nicely. So I'm excited about that. I've been working on that just a little bit. I worked on it last night at bedtime because I can't really work on the black gloves at night. Our bedroom, we just have really, really soft lighting, so it's not very good lighting for knitting. But I couldn't fall asleep last night, so I just kind of brought in some socks to work on. So that is that. Let's see what else I've got in my bag here. I don't think I worked on any of these other projects. Pretty sure I didn't. Sorry, my lips are really, really chapped. I didn't have anything with me at the zoo. And so my lips got really chapped. Might have done 1 or 2 rows on my sock. These are my Felici socks. It's Knit Picks Felici in the Fanciful colorway. I'm using the Vanilla Bean sock pattern by Emily O'Grady. There's Ooh Fancy Pants on Ravelry. These are also on a 2.5 millimeter needle. I'm using Magic Loop simply because this was the only other sock needle I had available at the time. I prefer to use two circulars, not Magic Loop. But I will Magic Loop in a pinch when I'm desperate to cast on a new pair of socks, right? And then the last thing I have in this bag of tricks is my Because I Love You wrap. I don't think I've done anything else on it. It's stuck in here. Don't know what it's stuck on. So there it is, just a little spiral. And it also has picot edges. So I really, really like this and how it's turning out so far. I'm knitting this on a size 5, I believe. It's worn off, I couldn't tell you. I believe it's a US 5 because I don't think I have a US 6 in Patty Sock Rockets. And that definitely is a sock rocket. Ah, Knitter's Pride needle gauge. Let's see. Yep, it's a size 5 or a 3.75 for those who are in the rest of the modern world that uses metric. Yeah, so I really like it. So I might pick this guy back up. It's between this and potentially casting on another guy because I wound up this stuff. These are my two Wool and Vine yarns. In this one's the Strassa base, which she doesn't carry anymore, just a merino nylon, and then this one is the Footsie base, which is BFL nylon, but they're very similar in weight. So sorry, stuff on it. This is the Jilted Rose colorway, and this one is the Succulents colorway. So I'm going to use these two together for the Penny Candy Tea. Just there. So it is a summer top with lace along the bottom, the top, and the sleeves. So I was going to do the lace in the Jilted Rose. And then obviously the striping would be in the Jilted Rose and the Succulents colorway. So the Jilted Rose along all of the parts that would be near my face and on the sleeves and the bottom. And yeah, the Succulents mixture with it. So I do really want to cast that on soon. And I haven't checked the pattern to see what size needles it recommends. So let's do that now, shall we? Let's see. My little picos are flipping up. Unfortunate. So it calls for a US 6 and a 4. Usually when patterns call for a 6, I tend to go down to a 5. Just because with fingering weight, I feel like I get a fabric that I like a little bit better. That's kind of the fabric that I like for shawls. So this one, for example, I think I knit on a 4. Yeah, I did this one on a 4. And then the Because I Love You wrap was on a 5. So somewhere around a 4 or a 5 is what I like to work fingering weight in that isn't dense for socks, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that guy. I think it's going to be really, really pretty. And it will look good with like a khaki skirt or a pair of jeans. You know, maybe even white skirt in the summertime. I don't know. Yeah, so that kind of brings me to Knit Along. So I know that not a lot of people have been able to participate in the Wool and Vine Yarns Knit Along, and that's fine. I know that many people can't get her yarn, which is why I opened up to just doing one of her patterns. But I was thinking about doing another concurrent knit along just because I'm also feeling like I want to cast on all the things. So what I was thinking was doing a spring into summer cal, which would be knitting something that you would wear for spring or summer. It could be like a lacy shawl, it could be a garment, so like a short sleeved sweater, a light cardigan, trying to think what else. Could be something like a headband or a little, you know, like a, it's not a bandana, like a headscarf. Kerchief, that's the word I'm looking for, kerchief. Could be a kerchief, could be socks. because I wear my socks all year long. I tend to wear a little bit more lacy ones in the summer, or ones that have some cotton content in them. But you certainly could knit socks year round, I think. So let me know what you guys think, but I think I will go ahead and open up a chatter thread for that, just because that's sort of where I'm going as far as what I want in it. Not that it's all about me or anything, but I would enjoy having some company knitting things up to be able to wear as the weather starts to warm up for us. And I guess for those of you who are in the opposite hemisphere, because I know I do have people that watch in Australia and New Zealand, and I think maybe I have some people in Africa, and one in South America maybe. So for those people, I guess you would be at the tail end of your fall and going towards winter. So you'll just be ahead of the game for next year, I guess. So anyway, I think that's the other cow I'm going to host, and I'm going to do it concurrently with the Wool and Pine cow. So if you wanted to, you can enter both cows. That would be great. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I did my 500 member giveaway, and I haven't heard from the person. So it's iStitchFast, and I'm going to give her one more week to contact me, and then if she hasn't contacted me by next week, then I will go ahead and redraw for that. And we're actually down to 501 members, so not sure what I'm doing, but hopefully I'm not doing anything terrible. But yeah, I was joking that I might have to do an unmember giveaway. But I forgot to draw for the Podiversary giveaway, so I'm going to do that now. So it is 2 through 23. And you see, I know there was some chatter in the beginning. So I'm going to go 4 through 23. Let's go to random. Oops. Random.org. You can hear Joshua downstairs. 4 through 23. Generate. Okay, and the winner was 6. Number 6. In case you want proof. So let's go back and find out who that was. And number 6 is Popedage, who is in Canada. So she does not have her first name there, but so it's POKDEJ, number 6 on the giveaway thread. So if you want to contact me and send me your mailing details, I will get the prize bag and yarn out to you. So congratulations, yay! And thank you for being part of the group. And everybody, thank you for telling me about your dream yarns or things that you like about the podcast. I really appreciate it. So I was sharing my recent acquisition, and I was asked to share tips and tricks on blocking, and I am by no means an expert. From iPatty1955 on Instagram, she said, share your blocking tips and blocking wire recommendations on your podcast. Thanks. So I will go ahead and share that because it leads me right into acquisitions. So knowing that this thing was gigantic and had all these picot edges, which are now curled up because of my arms, I knew that I did not have enough blocking pins for all of these lovely, lovely ends. So So typically what I would do if I had a shawl like this was I would put a T-pin in the end of every single one of these picots, and I would pull them down and make sure that they were, you know, like this. And I would do picots across the top. Now, if you don't have blocking wires, you have a couple of options for blocking. Oh, that's cute, sweetie. You could either take a thread.
I like that yarn.
Yeah.
It's a rainbow.
It is a rainbow.
Ooh.
Okay.
It goes in a pattern too.
Yeah. Okay, so you could take a thread and thread it across the top, and then you can tie that around 2 T-pins at the ends and kind of pull it taut, and then you could pin up.
Will you make me?
So you could either do that, you could do the string across the top and then pull it taut and then pin that and then pull down from that. The problem there is that it's just not as rigid. Or you could T-pin across the top, which is what I did with my Lalo shawl. I pinned all the way across the top and then I pulled it down, you know, kind of, you know, not too hard, but we've got some room to tug it. I tend to aggressively block. So you could pull it down until you get it to where you want it to be and then pin along the bottom. And like I said, if it were this, I would pin every picot out. But obviously you need a lot of pins for that. So for that, I have just a little box that I keep all of my, all my T-pins in. Okay. So if you're not familiar, T-pins they look like this. So they look like they're a T. And they are resistant to rust. You can find them in most yarn shops. And they're not very expensive. So they're just like, you know, between $5 and $10 for a box of 20 to 25. So this is a box of, or this is a set of 2 of the smaller boxes plus my blocking wires came with, I think 20 T-pins. So I just found a set of 3 of these little boxes at Joann's, and they have little clips that go over them like handles, and then they won't spill out, and obviously I could hold a couple more boxes in there. So I use those. And then I bought the Knitter's Pride lace blocking wire kit. And it has stainless steel wires, 6 wires that are 37.5, I'm reading this upside down, inches each, and then 6 wires that are 19.5 inches each, or 95 centimeters and 50 centimeters each, and then 3 wires that are 37.5, 3 flexible wires that are 37.5 inches in length.
What is that?
So I may have just used the wrong wires.
What is that?
This is where it's user error.
What is this?
This is what my blocking wires are in. Please move out of in front of the camera. And it also came with 20 T-pins and 1 measuring tape. So how you use these, if you don't use them wrong, which I think I might have used mine wrong. This is the problem, you don't get any tutorial, right? You just go and buy a thing. Okay. So let's see. I might have bent my wires up, but that's okay. Whatevs, they're my wires, right? I wondered why some of them had this marking on them. So I bet I did. Because 3 of them have this weird thingy on them. And I wondered why they had it on there. And then the rest of them don't have it on there. I totally bent my other ones. Oh, lovely. Oh, Nina. That's nice. I'm sure my husband can help me bend them back. So what they are is they're really all kind of flexible, because clearly I was able to do it and I didn't have to fight them at all. Yeah. No, well, these are clearly more flexible. These probably would have been better to use. So the 3 wires that are flexible have this on them, which just says Supertron? Wow, I can't even read it. This is the problem with these, right? I don't know. Anyway, these are the 3 that are flexible. So you thread them through your knitting, and then you bend it to how you want it to be, and then you pin it tensioned. So I used 2 of these along the bottom of my shawl, and I threaded them through each picot, and then I pulled it taut. And then I had across the top 2 of these longer ones, which, I mean, look at that, they're still really flexible, so I don't know that it matters. But I threaded these across the top, and you can see that obviously they'll be a good way to make it be straight. So then you just keep that straight, and I just put pins along the bottom part so that I wouldn't be able to pull it down. And then I did some also across the top so that it couldn't flex up. So I just kind of locked it into place straight. And then I ran out on the very ends. There's also these shorter ones. And these you could use also if you were going to do something that wasn't an angle or an arc. If you had a straight edge that you wanted to do like a triangle shawl or a square shawl, you could put these along the sides so that you would keep that nice rigid edge, and you can use fewer pins to do the same activity that would take a lot more pins. So they all come in this nice tube.
Hi, Mom.
Like I said, with the
Hi, Mom.
these were $25 US for this set, and this is big enough to do pretty much any shawl that I would want to do, or blanket. It would be great for like a baby blanket if you made a lacy baby blanket. Also, I can't imagine what you'd use them for on a garment, but maybe you would. I don't know. I can't think of what you'd do with them for like a sweater, but I guess you could use them for a sweater if you wanted to. So those are my blocking wires and T-pins, and I always wet block. I don't dry block anything. So I when I finish knitting something, typically I will just soak it. I'll put maybe a tiny bit of wool wash in there. It really depends on the yarn, whether I think the color will run or not, and also on whether or not something has been spilled on it, because obviously I have children and things get spilled on my knitting. So sometimes it needs to be washed whether I want it to be or not. This particular thing I put in 2 color catchers, which was good because the purple did run. I didn't want it to get the white colored, and so I put 2 color catchers they're from the Shout brand. They're just like little pieces of cloth, and you put them in your water and they absorb the dye, and they keep the dye from getting onto other stuff. So they worked like a charm, so I didn't get any color on my white, even though the water was actually pretty purple. So it did not bleed over at all. The color catchers picked up all that. So I highly recommend those if you can get your hands on them. They're very, very affordable and totally worth it if you don't want to get color on your knitting or have your colors bleed on your knitting. So yeah, those are my blocking tips. So thank you so much, Pat, for the question. I really appreciate it. And are we doing your segment? What?
No, you're still doing your segment and you're talking about me.
Okay, well, I can't talk about you every week.
Well, maybe just this is the last week.
Okay. So Megwin went to her Grammy's house yesterday, and she stayed the night. No, it was Friday. It wasn't yesterday. You stayed the night. You hadn't done that in a while. Did you have fun? What kind of stuff did you do?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Well,
Don't
I
you remember?
played and painted and eated, and I went to
Ate?
I ate and I went to a restaurant with a cannoli.
Oh,
with
right.
You guys.
Yep, we went to an Italian restaurant for Easter.
And I went to another restaurant.
Yep, you went to Frisch's, which is like a diner.
Yeah.
And you had
Yeah, I went to
a-
Frisch's and
a variety of
Grammy.
breakfast foods.
yeah, I even had cake.
You had cake? I
Yeah,
thought you said you had like waffles.
cake and waffle strips.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you had cake for
And
breakfast.
fruit and orange juice and some nutritious stuff too.
Okay.
Eh.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad you had a good mix.
And Aunt Missy was sneaking some of my food.
Man, you can't trust her. Shady.
If I sit next to Sarah, she wouldn't do it.
Right. Okay. Anything else?
Will you talk about what we did today with Emma? Because you know it because you were there.
Yeah, today we went to the zoo. And
Yeah, and I went on the merry-go-round.
yeah, Meg went on the merry-go-round. It was the eggs, paws, and claws. So they were celebrating kind of Eastery stuff. So they
Yeah.
have enrichment activities for the
And there
animals.
was a bunny train.
There was a bunny train.
And there was a bunny in a costume that
You
ran
saw,
away.
yeah, you saw the costume bunny
Yeah,
through the trees.
he was running away.
That's pretty silly.
Oh.
What was your favorite animal you saw today?
Tigers.
The tigers. Oh yeah, I got a good picture of the tiger.
Oh, and the panthers.
Pumas.
Yeah, can you show them the picture of the tiger?
Yeah, I did. I'll put it in the podcast at the end. I didn't get a picture of the puma. What is this? What are we doing? Are we trying to be cyclopes?
We're showing them a bullfight.
Oh, okay. Thanks,
Are
sweetie.
you done yet?
I brought up my blanket, but I've not really knit on it much. Let's see. Since I didn't have it to show last time, I did move my marker, so I've done that. Okay. So this is my 10-stitch blanket by Frankie Brown. Getting bigger, slowly but surely. So I'm kind of knitting more on it now because I know as it gets warmer I'm probably not going to want to knit on it. Although it's a really good camping project because I can knit when it's dark on it. So often I will sit by the campfire and knit with it. Sorry, my allergies are really bad today, so I sound a little bit stuffy. All the trees are in bloom and it's so beautiful. But yeah, you know all about it. Oh, I did knit on. The last thing I knit on is is it recording?
Yes.
Okay, don't shake the table, please. Is the socks for my husband. These are in the sugar maple sock. I like burning things with you colorway. I've knit, I think, this much on them since I showed them last. So they're progressing. I was knitting them while we were at the zoo today a little bit, and in the car on the way home. But like I said, I'm going to try to finish up the gloves first, and then I feel like I'm free to knit all of the things. So exciting. So these will definitely be one of the things that I'm knitting over the next week or so. But they're just something I kind of pick up and do here and there. My husband does wear his hand knit socks all the time, so he definitely is knit worthy for socks. I have some other things that I wanted to finish. So that really and truly is all. And thank you everybody again for watching, for putting up with me, for listening to things about my life. And Megan will be up next. I heard a really cool thing on the radio this morning, and I wanted to share it with everyone. And it was from a comedian, and she said, love where you are until you're not there anymore. And basically the idea is that if you're always thinking about, oh, I'll be happy if I just got this one thing to happen, or if, things like, oh, if I could just finish this task, or if I could just lose those extra 5 pounds or whatever, then I will be happy. That you're always chasing some future and you're never enjoying the now. So I really liked that, and I wanted to share that with you. And the other thing, which I thought everybody knew this saying, but someone at work, one of my teammates at work, we were talking, and she is kind of a perfectionist, which is something that I struggle with as well. And I said that I was explaining to Megan about, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. And she said, what? I've never heard that before. And I said, oh yeah, it's the idea of if you're always trying to attain perfection, you will never be happy with
I know what it means.
what's good enough. Oh, Megan's going to come and explain to you what don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good means. All right, what does it mean, Megs?
Well, it means that it doesn't need to be perfect, because if you really want it to be perfect, it would be the enemy of the good. So don't let that happen.
Right. Because then you'll never be happy with anything. Because it will never be perfect. There's always room for improvement. And what would happen if everything was perfect?
What?
Remember you told me.
It would be boring.
That's right, it would be boring.
Stink bug!
I know, I'm going to have to squish him.
Squish him now.
I don't want to squish him on the podcast. No one else needs to see that. Gross. Can you bring me some toilet paper and I'll squish him? I don't want to do it with my bare hands because he's stinky. Ew. Okay. I have stink bugs to squish. So I am enjoying some tea from the Beady Butterfly. And unfortunately my package to her got lost. But I'm going to make another one because I feel terrible that it did never make it to her. It makes me really sad.
What makes you really sad?
I sent a package to one of my friends and it never showed up. It got lost in the mail. Isn't that a bummer?
How did it get lost in the mail?
I don't know. It just never went. I sent it and then it didn't get to her side. She lives in England.
Probably because England's far away from here.
Yeah, England is far away from here, but usually mail doesn't get lost. You go flush that in the toilet.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I've never had a package really get lost before. Really and truly lost. They've been missing for a while. Like I've sent a few to Molly from a homespun house that just got lost for a long time. And there goes the stink bug in the toilet. But I've never had one completely disappear. So I still am holding out hope that it will show up. But then she'll just get twice the tea goodness. So I will put something together and send it over. But I've really been enjoying this tea. It's the Hampstead black vanilla tea, and it is delicious. So, with that, I will leave you now. And as always, I really enjoy chatting with everybody, so please do reach out. And Megan does as well. So I hope you all have a fabulous week doing the things you love, and I will talk to you next time. Okay, bye-bye. Okay.
Hey guys, these are my squinkies and my froggies and my acorns and my birdies too. And see all the difference between the squinkies? This one is a monkey. Put him up there. It's a girl monkey actually. And this one's a kitty. It's a cousin kitty. Meow meow. Put her up there with the monkey. They're friends. Now, where is she? Did I forget her?
Who?
Grandma Kitty. Grandma Kitty has a dress
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
and a hat. I
No.
think they call it a
See her
bonnet.
in here. A bonnet.
Yeah, a bonnet. They
I
call
don't
her
see
hat
that
a
one in
bonnet.
here. You might have forgotten it. You have double watermelon kitty. Want me to hold this?
No,
You go get
I'll
it?
take it.
Oh, okay.
I need to put it in there.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Don't you like her? See, isn't she pretty?
Very pretty.
Hello.
Hello.
Doesn't your normal voice silly?
Oh, sorry. I was trying to do a grandma voice.
You know what grandmas don't like to look at
What?
or hear? Other grandmas.
They don't like other grandmas?
Well, they don't like to hear them.
Oh, I see. I wonder why that is.
This is Grandma Kitty. Grandma Kitty. And you can see her hat. They usually call it a bonnet. And that's a yellow dress and a yellow bonnet. And there's a red bow on it. She has a little yellow nose. Put her up there. This guy.
Here, put her up there. Go ahead.
And here comes the carnivore. Hello.
I don't think they can see it because of your fingers. There you go.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is my bear. You can see his back is all gray. And his head is white and gray. And he has a little pink nose and black and white eyes. And you can see his big bushy tail back there. Oh.
That's gross.
This is Pada the candlestick. You can see there's a coat. Ouch!
You want me to hold him up there?
No, no,
They
no,
can
no,
see
no.
him. Okay, go closer.
This is my candle.
Mm-hmm.
You can see he wears a coat and ouch! He's made of white, ouch! And has fire. Ouch! Ouchie! Ouchie! He's taken.
Okay.
It's one of my fingers. And this, you know her, it's Belle. Hello. And you know Belle. And you can see her pretty dress.
Hold it closer to the camera.
You can see her pretty dress and her nice hair
There you go.
and her little band. I like her. She's my favorite character. Now, I lost the beast, which is too bad.
I'm sure we'll find him somewhere.
And this is Grandpa Kitty.
Right.
You can see is a little bit the same.
He's got overalls,
Yeah, overalls and black shoes.
black shoes.
Hold on with that.
Does he have glasses? Oh no, but he has some silly hair.
Yeah,
Fun.
that's funny. I know.
Some crazy old man hair.
And this is an owl reading a book. You can see his book in his hand. You see all the colors of him. Now look at this pretty one. It's such a nice masterpiece.
Like a little dog?
Yeah, it is a dog.
Does it have a bow? A hair bow?
And yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
these all the dog parts again.
You're so ridiculous. Silly goose.
Here is my decor.
Oh yeah, I like that one. That one's my favorite.
You can see his big tail and
He's
all the
so cute.
spots. I'm just gonna turn him around and around and around.
Don't make him
and
dizzy.
around. Who dizzy?
Other people watching.
My jaguar is dizzy.
Although I also like the one that's cheese. Do you have cheese in here?
Cheese?
No, the little mouse.
Cheese the mouse?
Yeah, from the fairies, the Tinkerbell movies.
Cheese the mouse?
Yeah,
No.
you don't have them in here.
I'll go get him.
That's okay. You can just
Take
show
this.
the ones you have. It's okay.
I like the row.
That's nice, huh?
We want to start a second row.
I don't know if I have room. Well, I can do it outside.
Yeah.